Marches to protest the COVID mandates in Seattle, Olympia, and nearby cities. She's also a founding member of WCRC and continues to work with us as an ally. Victoria ran for Seattle City Council in 2023, and she recently stepped up to take a leadership position in the Republican Party as a precinct committee officer, as well as a chairperson for the District of 36. She helps Freedom candidates win local and statewide elections, and she's here today to share some encouraging words for all of us, some fun stories. Let's welcome Victoria.
In fact, I'm going to echo the theme that our other speakers have covered today, which is standing up to bullies. Yeah. And in my work with the March for Freedom, boy, I've got some stories to share. Okay, can you believe we're going on 4 years since the lockdown started? Wow, March of 2020.
Yeah.
2 weeks.
It's hard to believe. 2 weeks to flatten the curve, folks. Here we are 4 years later. So the question is how did I build up confidence to get to this point, which is, this first picture here is, this is 1 year ago. This is me talking on the street to a representative of Gilead Science, the company that makes remdesivir. And I'm talking to him on the street, asking him about the Nuremberg Code. Has he heard of it? Does he know that experimental medications are subject to the Nuremberg Code? So this is just 1 year ago. We were outside of the Seattle Convention Center at a conference featuring Dr. Fauci as the premier speaker. And so we had a little group outside. We got our signs in front of thousands of people, thousands of doctors, researchers coming from all around the world. So folks, if you want to ask how much of an influence we've had on this, you're gonna see tonight, because our influence has gone around the world. But we started out small. In fact, here's me with my original sign, you guys. Honk if you question coronavirus. That was April of 2020. And that was at Golden Gardens in Seattle. Diane knows it well. She met me down there. In fact, I started to meet people down here. I originally took my sign on the freeway overpass, but guess what? No one was driving, so so this is how we originally started, was getting out on the streets. You can see us on the right there. That's us at a street demonstration. And then that is our sign there, because, so altogether, we did over 200 street demonstrations in those 2 years. We did more than 30 marches, including Seattle, Olympia, and many of the cities around us. We estimate that we got our signs in front of over 2 million sets of eyes, people driving by, people on the freeway. But along with that, we stood up to so many bullies during that time, and that's what I'm going to share, because I like to say that we got flipped off over 10,000 times. We got yelled at by dozens of healthcare workers, or as I like to call them, the irate nurses that would come at us and tell us how wrong we were. We got accused of killing grandma, I don't know how many times. And people would throw that number out there, 200,000 dead, and counting. It's like every day we'd get the update, as to why we should be wearing a mask, because 200,000 people have died. Does that make any sense? No, I mean, it's just that I feel sorry for people, but It didn't make sense at the time, and it still doesn't. Oh goodness, folks, we got tomatoes thrown at us. This is a sign. This is our sign with tomatoes down there. I took a picture of it. We got soda cans thrown at us. We got egged once. And one of my dear friends, she got a milkshake thrown on her. So these are all the side effects of being out there and standing up for the truth, standing up to the bullies. But I'm not here tonight to complain. In fact, I'm here to bring these as trophies of our triumph over the mandates, because here we are. And I will tell you folks that the mandates ended before they would have if it weren't for the actions of the March for Freedom and WCRC and the other groups that helped work in the school systems. Amen. Oh boy, this was a fun day. This was the first day we went on the freeway, but it's more famous for being the day that Black Lives Matter took over Seattle. We just happened to be on the freeway for the first day, and guess what? We were on the freeway, and I took a picture of the crowd of BLM marchers coming our way, and wow, I didn't realize that they literally were coming our way. And when they got to us, they started to cut down our banner, and we fought back, and we had like a stare down with these people, and we were like doing a tug of war, and then wow, it was very interesting. And I will just comment really quickly that we could see even on that day the difference between, there was a genuine sentiment in BLM that was sincere, and they were sorry for what was the violence against us. But we could see that there were operatives in there that were doing this to us. So there is, they were influenced by outsiders as well. Okay, you guys, so then we got our next banner on the freeway. It says, "The pandemic is a fraud. Investigate, don't participate." And guess what? We ruffled some feathers, including, this happened to be a roller derby mascot named Thunderwolf. But he just happened to be out of work, so he came to stand next to us on the freeway, and his sign says, "F you, these guys." But it really says, "Fundamentally educate and reach out with love and understanding." Isn't that sweet? And he actually presented me with a certificate that said, "You have tested positive for the coronavirus." Oh my goodness. Well, let's see what happened next. Oh, okay. And we continue to bring our banners out on 45th Street in Aurora. 45th Street over I-5. That's where most people bring their banners. So we're right in the center of Seattle. And it was rough. It was rough, folks. So we had people come out and stand across the street with their own signs saying, "Wear a mask." And they attacked our sign that says, "Wear a mask," because they painted over it. And then my car got keyed, you guys. So, I got an estimate on that. It was pretty expensive to fix, so you know what? I just wear it as a trophy. So it's my battle scar. Then we launched the March for Freedom. A lot of you were there. In fact, if you raise your hand if you're in this picture, I saw a couple people. Margie, Victor, Brett, Nikki, Jen, Becca. Yes, you guys, this is awesome. We're like such a community. Yeah, right there. That was the original March for Freedom. And guess who showed up? Thunderwolf. You guys remember him? He was the furry. He was harassing us, and I think Larissa had a little dance with him. You guys, we've run into so many characters. It is really funny. It's like the lesson is standing up to these people. It's never as bad as you think it's going to be. We have this next slide. Look, we got clowns coming after us. This was at a demonstration near Seattle Center during that summer, and it's just funny. Who comes out to harass us? Here's another one. We had. This guy was yelling at us like, "Your liberty endangers my family," and he's pointing fingers at us like this. It's crazy. This was Christmas at Pike Place Market, and then this guy's famous. I got this video on my YouTube channel. It's we call him the COVID Cowboy because we were marching through Pike Place Market, and he was yelling at us, and he was actually like wishing all of us to die from COVID. And I thought, wow, I can't imagine more of a hypocrite than that, because why would you wish people to die? So these are some of the people we ran into. Here's some from, we marched through the Ballard farmers market and ran into a whole host of characters there that were giving us trouble. And then we came to we were promoting our last March for Freedom. That was March 26th in Seattle. And guess what, folks? We put up flyers all over Seattle. These flyers, we posted them all over Seattle because we really wanted to get the community there. We wanted to let people know that we were there and that we were marching for freedom. And guess what? We got a response from Antifa. They posted these flyers calling us, fascists. And there's a gun on there. It's like threatening violence. And some of the groups in our groups, they actually dropped out. They backed out. They were afraid, but we weren't. We stood up. We showed up, and we were there to. We were there, folks. With the lesson being is, to show up, because I'll tell you what happened. They showed up all right. Here's some of the oddballs that showed up. We had Antifa, we had a couple other counter protesters, and I'll show you what we did. We turned it into a photo opportunity, because these you can see. Look at Antifa in the background, you guys. They showed up with their black bloc. They were very intimidating. Margie's here today. She was like our ambassador of peace over to Antifa, and she just softened them up for us. So, you guys, take a look at this picture. This is my trophy, because honestly, it's like, what could be scarier than that? But no, they were just mild, actually. They left pretty soon. Okay, so you guys, the lesson for today is that we pushed the mandates back, you guys. We were effective against the mandates. But, these bullies on the street, those are pretty easy to stand up to, because they don't follow you home, hopefully. There were a handful of times where I did feel actually physically in fear. I mean, physically, like I was in fear for being physically assaulted. Only one time did we actually get punched, but that's okay. It worked out fine. But the bottom line is to take this with you to the new battlefields, you guys. You guys who are standing up to employers that terminated you, that can be actually more intimidating than a bully on the street, because they have your personal information. They're lawyers. They've got this authority or altitude over you. Don't let them, just stay the course. Use support from WCRC. They're going to help you out. And then, you guys, let me ask you this. What better revenge could we have on Governor Inslee than to vote for freedom? Yeah. You guys, we want to send him packing by putting a freedom governor into the governor's mansion. And so that is why we've invited the Semi-Bird representatives here today, because you guys, I am all in for Semi-Bird. He is a freedom candidate. I'm just going to put a quick plug in for him, because as school board director in Richland, he stood up to the mask mandate, and he made it optional for children in the school. And as far as I know, that was the only school district that did that. He got in trouble, he got recalled. So if you hear any bad news about him, it's because he actually stood up for it. So we are all in, we're supporting him. You guys, in the freedom community, we have about 20 people heading to Spokane to help him get the nomination from the Republican Party for him to get on the ballot as the candidate for governor. So you guys, we could have it this year. We could have a freedom governor in office. And so that's all for me, folks. You guys, go see these people, help them out, support Semi-Bird, support your other candidates. You guys, there are a lot of people running that are awesome. Thank you all. All right.
Thank you so much, Victoria. She's done so much. Thank you. Let's one last round of applause for Victoria.